Good evening. You're tuned into Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita and this evening, over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be getting you all the details about the Desi weapons that were part of Operation Sindoor. Days on, details still trickling in on exactly how Operation Sindoor was carried off. And a big contributor in that has been the BrahMos Missile and several other made-in-India arms weapons, which we'll be breaking down for you. What really makes the BrahMos a game changer? Why was it used 15 times in a single night by our forces? All those details coming your way. Let's begin with the headlines first. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh meets air warriors at Bhuj Air Base, criticizes IMF loan to Pakistan, claims Pakistan to fund terror and will pay 14 crores to Masood Azhar now.
सरकार पाकिस्तानी आम नागरिकों से लिया गया टैक्स जैसे मोहम्मद जैसे आतंकवादी संगठन के आका मसूद अजहर को करीब 14 करोड़ रुपए देने में खर्च करेगी.
Big boost to defence budget likely. Sources say centre may allocate 50,000 crores additional component in defence budget to procure equipment needed for forces. So the superhero of Operation Sindoor, BrahMos missiles, proved their mettle and how in the last few days. Sources have confirmed to us that the BrahMos missile was fired 15 times to decimate Pakistani air bases. This was on the intervening night of May 9th and May 10th when India hit back at Pakistan. Now, according to sources, the Indian Air Force used pilotless target aircraft to provoke Pakistani radars and air defense systems into action. Once they were activated, India deployed the Harab kamikaze drones to disable, damage those very systems. And this move paved the way for further missile attacks using BrahMos and Scalp cruise missiles. The aircraft carrying these missiles took off from various bases under India's western and southwestern air commands. And these attacks struck critical locations, including a hangar in Sindh, where Pakistan reportedly lost extremely important crucial equipment, including UAVs and an airborne surveillance aircraft. It was all strategically done with these precision strikes. Now, this entire operation has proven to us how the BrahMos has truly been a game changer in India's arsenal. It has a low flying capability. It's a supersonic missile. The missile is highly accurate, which is why precision strikes were even possible. It's also very difficult to intercept. The BrahMos has both nuclear and conventional warheads, as we just showed you there. It's also capable of engaging land targets, sea targets, and air-based targets. The range of land and ship-based versions is about 800 to 900 kilometers. What we mean by that is the BrahMos also can be fired from an INS Vikrant. The air-launched versions have a range of 450 to 500 kilometers. Made in India, the BrahMos has truly been a game changer for our forces.
BrahMos, 21वीं सदी की अतुलनीय प्रिसिजन स्ट्राइक मिसाइल, जिसे भूमि, समुद्र और हवाई प्लेटफॉर्म से बड़े स्टैंड ऑफ रेंज से दिन रात और हर मौसम में दागा जा सकता है. ब्रह्मोस भारतीय सशस्त्र बलों के लिए प्रथम पसंदीदा हथियार बन गई है. यह यूनिवर्सल मिसाइल आधुनिक युद्ध क्षेत्र में बहुभूमिका, बहुलक्ष्य और बहु प्लेटफॉर्म लॉन्च क्षमताओं के साथ एक प्रमुख फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर के रूप में स्थापित हो चुकी है. भारत और रूस की सर्वश्रेष्ठ तकनीकी क्षमताओं का उपयोग करते हुए ब्रह्मोस एरोस्पेस ने दुनिया में सबसे कम समय में एक अद्वितीय उत्पाद तैयार किया है. 12 जून 2001 को अपनी पहली सफल लॉन्चिंग के बाद से ब्रह्मोस ने विभिन्न प्लेटफॉर्मों से अलग अलग परिदृश्यों में 100 से अधिक परीक्षणों का विश्व स्तरीय रिकॉर्ड बनाया है, जिसमें इसकी सफलता दर सर्वोच्च रही है और इसकी श्रेष्ठता प्रमाणित हुई है.
साथियों, हर भारतीय को गर्व होता है जब वो सुनता है कि भारत में बनी ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल अपनी कैटेगरी में सबसे घातक और सबसे आधुनिक मानी जाती है. कई देशों के लिए ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल उनकी पसंदीदा चॉइस बनकर उभरी है।
ब्रह्मोस एरोस्पेस रक्षा स्वदेशीकरण के महत्वाकांक्षी मेक इन इंडिया कार्यक्रम का सच्चा ध्वजवाहक है। डिजाइन इन इंडिया, मेक इन इंडिया और मेक फॉर इंडिया प्रयासों के माध्यम से इस संयुक्त उद्यम ने 200 से अधिक घरेलू, सार्वजनिक और निजी रक्षा उद्योगों, संस्थानों और संगठनों को शामिल करते हुए एक मजबूत मिसाइल औद्योगिक कंसोर्टियम की स्थापना की है, जो ब्रह्मोस उत्पादन और स्वदेशीकरण कार्यक्रम के विभिन्न पहलुओं में समर्पित रूप से लगे हुए हैं।
रक्षा मंत्रालय का एक विभाग है DRDO, उसके द्वारा यह तय किया है हम लोगों ने। मिसाइल का नाम तो सुना होगा, बड़ी खतरनाक चीज होती है। कभी कोई कल्पना नहीं करता था कि उत्तर प्रदेश में मिसाइल बने। बहनों भाइयों, उत्तर प्रदेश में इसी लखनऊ के पास में ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल बनेगी।
आज रक्षा क्षेत्र की आत्मनिर्भरता हम सबके सामने है और भारत की ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल का केंद्र भी लखनऊ हो चुका है। यहाँ पर बनने वाली मिसाइल जब भारत की सीमाओं पर उड़ती है तो दुश्मन के चक्के छोड़ते हैं।
We have expanded and expedited our overall production and integration capacity. The dedicated BrahMos Manufacturing Center being set up in Lucknow as a part of the UP Defence Industrial Corridor will be a major addition to the existing BrahMos production facilities across the country. Lucknow unit will expedite the production, integration and assembly of BrahMos systems to meet the growing demand for the missiles both in the national and international sphere.
हम शांति का वह हथियार बनाते हैं जो भारत को गर्वित करता है। जय हिंद।
So that's a video released by the Defence Ministry highlighting for you the features of the BrahMos. Made in India, as the Defence Minister said, made in parts of Uttar Pradesh and now serving the entire country. It's the first time the BrahMos missile was used and how it's delivered. In fact, Gaurav Sawant spoke exclusively with the American urban warfare expert John Spencer about India's Operation Sindoor, particularly about how the BrahMos missile delivered.
15 BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles were fired at Pakistan military bases, apart from the targeting of 9 terror camps. What does this say of India's intent with the missiles finding their target?
One, it shows an undeniable military superiority that India was able to launch those missiles and hit every target, which is no easy task. There's radars, there's interceptors, there's all kinds of things, but also shows the precision. India was not going, escalating. It was responding to being attacked both from a terror attack and from the Pakistan military. So those very specific precision-guided munitions that can hit within 3 meters, essentially, was a very big choice to make sure that they're hitting what they want, to send the exact message that they want, which is we can hit any site in Pakistan that we want, but we're showing restraint as a sign of strength in establishing a new doctrine, basically.
Explain this new doctrine in your appreciation as someone who studies urban warfare very closely, the action on ground and what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said about dealing with Pakistan's state-sponsored terror.
Yeah, it's been really amazing to watch in a short amount of time to basically establish a new strategic doctrine, which is no easy task. The first part of it was that any terror attack will be immediately responded to with force. I've been to Mumbai. I've studied the 2008 Mumbai attack. That's a very different approach, even in Balakot in 2019, to say we will respond with overwhelming but precise force to any terror attack. And this is basically establishing a new red line for India not to seek other means and first respond with military force. But then there are other aspects to this which are really important. I mean, the comment about terrorism and talk. So terrorism and then we negotiate and seek diplomatic means don't mix, just like blood and water don't mix. That was a very powerful statement. Then the other aspect was the no nuclear blackmail, right? So this state sponsorship of many terrorist organizations, especially Lashkar-e-Taiba, with the Pakistan ISI trained, financed, and deployed into India to do attacks. that nuclear blackmail will no longer be the excuse to why people should say that this should be accepted. India is saying no longer will this reckless, basically, nuclear blackmail be the reason that this is allowed to continue, which I think the entire world should take note of that. Everybody usually steps in because these are, Pakistan has a nuclear weapon, saying, look, you gotta not respond. You have to keep this at a certain level. Absolutely, India did do that. It provided immediate responses proportionate to the objective that they were trying to achieve, but no more nuclear blackmail. Just because you have a nuclear weapon in the world, let alone if you're a state backer of terrorism, doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want. But India also showed, in order to establish this new doctrine, you have to have deterrence. And India showed and validated their military superiority, both offensively, so being able to hit any site, but also defensively. So Pakistan wasn't able to hit a single site in India, even though they targeted civilian and military sites.
So the BrahMos might everyone's talking about clearly. There are other indigenous systems that are also delivered for our forces. The Akash missile, locally developed suicide drones, the Sky Striker, other homegrown defenses too played a key role in deterring Pakistan. Let's run you through each of them one after another. First, the Akash, a defense system that played such a big role in ensuring that India stayed safe amid Pakistan's attempts to send drones and missiles our way. So the Akash system is an indigenous command and control air defense system. It worked alongside, the S-400 and several other air defense systems that the Indian Air Force has. The Akash system is actually developed by BEL, the Bharat Electronics Limited, and enables forces to intercept, neutralize any projectiles, in this case, Pakistan projectiles. It also generates real-time data to precisely track any aerial threats coming our way. It collects the inputs from multiple radars and sensors like AWACS that are spread across India. And with this AWACS data that comes in, it then ensures that every single threat is immediately identified. So essentially, if you will, it acts like a nerve center, a digital nerve center of the air defense network. This is the Akash system, which again tried and tested in Operation Sindoor. Then you have the Akash missile system. It's a surface-to-air missile system, mid-range. It's developed domestically by the DRDO, and the DRDO has done a fantastic job in the last many years. That's been very clear in how all of the systems that they've essentially been a part of developing and manufacturing has played a crucial role in Operation Sindoor. As far as the Akash missile is concerned, the reason we called it a mid-range surface-to-air missile is because it has a range of 45 to 70 kilometers. But it can engage multiple threats simultaneously and is also, in fact, equipped with a 60-kilo high-explosive warhead. It's also got advanced guidance systems that makes it easier for our forces to use this missile as well. Once you pick the target, clearly it's guided to that. Now, let's also talk about the Desi suicide drones, the kamikaze drones. Now, the Sky Striker suicide drones were used in this operation. This is actually a Bengaluru-based company that came up with these drones, again, for the very first time being used by our forces. It can locate, acquire, and strike enemy targets with high, almost immediate precision, 100% precision. Loitering munitions, essentially that they're drones, they're capable of carrying a 5 kg warhead. So it delivers direct fire aerial precision attacks in a range of 100 kilometers and is deployed effectively in anti-terror operations used specifically to target infrastructure across border regions. Now, it's also a critical edge as far as search and destroy missions go, because then there's no need of any manpower reaching these locations, especially in counter-terror, shoot-to-kill ops. These particular Desi suicide drones are extremely crucial because what it does is it ensures that there's no, human that has to go up and operate or goes and, there's no threat to their life per se. This drone can be told where to hit, hits precisely that particular location, blows up. These drones are made in Bengaluru, developed by a Bengaluru-based company in collaboration with Israel. There have been 100 drones inducted into the Indian Army in 2021. My sense is that number is going to go up, showing how effective these drones were in this particular operation. Let's talk about the medium-range surface-to-air missile, the MRSAM. Developed again by DRDO in collaboration with Israel. There are multiple such projects which are in collaboration either with Israel or Russia, which have also proved to be extremely productive for India. Now, this missile has a range of 70 to 100 kilometers, so a little more than the Akash missile. The altitude coverage is 20 to 30 kilometers. As far as guidance goes, it's got dual command and also an active radar seeker. It's got a proximity fuse, so it's got a fragmentation warhead of sorts. It can be launched from land and from sea, which is a big advantage with this particular missile. And it can take down UAVs, drones, aircraft, cruise missiles, precision-guided munitions as well. So these are essentially the weapons that played a big role in Operation Sindoor, gave us that clear edge over not just Pakistan, but clearly against China and Turkey as well. Our next report tells you more about these made-in-India weapons. That's been a game changer for our forces. We also spoke to many of these makers of these weapons.
The four-day flare-up between India and Pakistan last week wasn't just a military skirmish, it became a real-world testbed for India's indigenously developed defense systems. As tensions escalated and cross-border attacks intensified, several Make-in-India weapons were deployed, offering a glimpse into how far India's domestic defense capabilities have come. Operation Sindoor demonstrated the precision and reliability of made-in-India weapons, reinforcing the success of the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in defense manufacturing.
इस ऑपरेशन के दौरान हमारे मेड इन इंडिया हथियारों की प्रामाणिकता सिद्ध हुई। आज दुनिया देख रही है 21वीं सदी के वॉरफेयर में मेड इन इंडिया डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट्स, इसका समय आ चुका है।
The missile, which is a household name now, is the BrahMos, a joint initiative of Russia and India. The missile is credited with disabling Pakistan terror camps and Air Force infrastructure. With the recent inauguration of a manufacturing facility in Lucknow, the BrahMos is now being built by the DRDO in 3 cities, which include Hyderabad and Thiruvananthapuram.
ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल क्या होती है, अभी आपने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के अंदर इस मिसाइल के पराक्रम की एक झलक देखी होगी, और नहीं देखी होगी तो कम से कम पाकिस्तान वालों से पूछ लेना चाहिए कि ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल की ताकत क्या है।
The Akash surface-to-air missile system deployed by both the Indian Army and Air Force along the Pakistan border played a pivotal role in countering Pakistani drone incursions and aerial threats. The missile, with a range of 25 to 30 kilometers, is built by listed public sector companies Bharat Electronics and Bharat Dynamics. According to reports, Tata Advanced Systems and L&T also play a role in their production. The Akash Tir air defense system, developed by Bharat Electronics, integrated seamlessly with ground-based defenses, effectively thwarting Pakistan's air operations. The system is part of India's integrated defense grid, which also comprises the D4 anti-drone setup. D4 disables drones by jamming them and also via spoofing technologies and laser-based mechanism. Multiple DRDO labs are involved in this project. Another medium-range surface-to-air missile system used was the Barak 8, jointly developed by DRDO and Israel Aerospace Industries. It is now manufactured in India by Bharat Dynamics and by private sector companies Kalyani Rafael Advanced Systems and Tata Advanced Systems. Among frontline weaponized drones, the Sky Striker is being manufactured in India by a joint venture between Israel's Elbit System and Adani Group's Alpha Design Technologies. Nagpur-based Solar Industries and Bengaluru-based Z-Motion make another weaponized drone, the Nagastra.
It's a 100-kilometer range, and it has it can take work warheads up to 5 to 10 kgs, and has the ability to go up to, and then actually have a very highly precision attacks. And that's one of its key strengths. It has a very high precision, up to a 1 meter precision. That's the quality of this product.
The Scalp EG cruise missile, though not indigenous, was complemented by India's homegrown radar and targeting systems, which ensured accurate strikes. India's defense production has exploded in the past few years, with defense exports rising by 12% in 2024-25 to nearly 24,000 crore rupees. Importantly, made in India arms and ammunition are finding a big market overseas, and analysts feel the success of these systems in Operation Sindoor will only boost their demand. Bureau Report, Business Today.
And just to put the focus really on Atmanirbhar Bharat and Atmanirbhar Defence, has it really worked? Some numbers on your screens of defence exports which have jumped in the last many years. If you look at what it was 2013 to 2014, it was at 686 crores. And then it's jumped right up between 2024 to 2025, right up to 23,622 crores. That's a 34-fold rise. What we're showing on your screens is data from 2020 all the way up to 2024-25. But if I were to take you right back to 2013 to 2014, that number was just at 686 crores. So the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, the push focusing particularly on defense, has made a huge difference. Just look at those numbers. Like I said, a 34-fold increase, where now it stands at 23,622 crore rupees. So in the next year, hopefully that number will go up. Thanks very much for tuning in to Super 6. I'll see you same time Monday evening.